Welcome back to Third Phase of Moon. Blake Cousins here. We got a special report. UFO videos are on the rise, and we've got a plethora of them for you tonight. So buckle up, everybody. What is happening? We're going to find out. On certain locations, the phenomenon is high, but then sometimes we don't know what's going on, and others we can figure it out. But let's get to the sky whirlpool right now, happening over the Mauna Kea of the Big Island, captured by the Subaru telescope. Watch this. So let's pull it up. About 100%, get a closer look at whatever this swirling anomaly is in the sky. But now we have some updates. What happened over Hawaii is basically a decaying SpaceX rocket that created a unique night spiral. The Subaru telescope recorded the video, the flying whirlpool as it's dubbed, over the Mauna Kea on Sunday, hours after the California-based Falcon 9 rocket successfully launched a spy satellite for the U.S. National Reconnaissance Office into orbit. So what we're looking at isn't extraterrestrial, it's something that is ours. And it's coming in from the Falcon 9 rocket that was launched from California, but captured by the cameras over there on the top of the mountain, the Mauna Kea. So this is pretty incredible, but people are still suggesting that this video is like some kind of portal.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible just to look at this on the Big Island of Hawaii, having this rocket launched from so far away, and we're able to see this in pretty crystal clarity right here. This spiral cruising from left to right. It's an astonishing sight. If people were on the ground looking at this, they would be stunned. Again, to see this event in real time over the Mauna Kea on the Big Island of Hawaii is extraordinary.
Absolutely, Brent. It is quite astonishing, especially that this was coming in from SpaceX over there in California, but made its landing over here in Hawaii, captured by the Subaru telescope as this Falcon 9 descended down into the Pacific Ocean on a landing platform floating out there. Incredible technology captured by cameras on the Mauna Kea. But what's crazy is that people are still putting this out there as some kind of portal or extraterrestrial event. We're glad we could clear the record on this and point out what's really going on. But we also have phenomenon that we can't explain, as this next video, as we're about to share with you, we have no idea what it is. Take a look at this mysterious glowing light. So we're going to zoom it up 70%, get a closer look. Is there an object above the cloud layer revealing itself through its luminous light? It doesn't seem to be a spotlight, in my opinion. It seems whatever this is, where the light is coming from, is above the cloud layer shooting down. And if this is the case, it's quite interesting, because as we look at this original video right here, raw, we're looking at it once again. It seems to be coming behind the tree line there, indicating that whatever it is coming from in the sky, not from the ground. Otherwise, you would have saw a spotlight on the trees. And then again, the diameter of this craft is quite large. I'm guessing probably maybe 40 to 60 feet in diameter. Brent, I want to get your thoughts here.
Yeah, again, another unique capture right here. You could see the tree line and this luminescent object just highlighting in the clouds, kind of hiding itself. We don't see a craft. That's the interesting part here. We don't see a structure. We're just seeing illuminated light highlighting the clouds around it. This is very unique. I like the way the security camera really captured the whole event, and now we got a good close-up looking at this anomaly. It doesn't look like your typical helicopter with searchlights. We'd get these videos on a daily basis looking like this all the time. This is unique, something special going on here.
Absolutely. I'm, again, trying to wrap my head around this. Is this some kind of natural phenomenon? Maybe some kind of atmospheric static charge in the sky? Or is this something otherworldly? Look, it has this plasmic aura around it. And again, Brent, we're not seeing any craft, as you stated, but in my opinion, this light is coming from above the cloud layer. Otherwise, you would see the spotlight on the trees. Again, one more time as we watch it and slow it down, get a little closer look. Let's see if this wraps behind the trees, and it's hard to tell. Again, a phenomenon. It's definitely behind the roof line. We've got even more footage captured on NBC News. We're watching it right now. Apparently, there was this mission to save lives in the ravaged Navajo Nation, but what was captured in the background during this report is astonishing. Watch. It only lasts for a few seconds, but people are starting to talk about this on social media. Is this the infamous Tic Tac captured for only a few frames on national television via NBC News? Again, we're looking at it very close. We're not seeing any kind of tail or wings on this. It's hard to say, but again, people are talking about this in the major media right now and on social online chat rooms. But Brent, what's your thoughts on this? Is this a Tic Tac or simply just maybe an airplane?
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. The major media really puts out their information when it comes down to UFOs, and it's usually a lackluster. We're given a heads up by Alex, our friend, our panelist, and he says, hey, take a look at this, guys, and this is good. This is something unique, and I'm really happy that the major media is kind of maybe clamping down a little bit and not laughing off the UFO phenomenon. And now we're seeing this kind of this dance happening around the desert. Did this invite the UFO? The people might say that.
Yeah, absolutely. But what's interesting, too, is that I don't think the major media is actually admitting that they captured anything. They're just showing this run on the Navajo Indians during this unfortunate events that's been happening. They should do a follow-up on this. We're doing the enhancements, and we want to thank Richard Giordano from GoofOn for actually doing some of these enhancements, helping us out as we've been on the road trip. Going over the UFO footage on a daily basis gets a little tricky as we're working on multiple angles of aspects trying to get you the information to disclosure. But once again, I'm not seeing any kind of lights coming off this. It's moving quickly. It's behind the clouds. Again, guys, I want to get your thoughts. Is this the Tic Tac? Now, let's get to the next UFO sighting. Richard Giordano from GoofOn gave us a heads up of this spherical object captured. Watch this. All right, let's blow this up about 400%. Again, Richard's doing some enhancements for us as we're looking at it. What is this spherical object? It seems metallic, but what's crazy is you could hear the wind. It's bustling. The treetops are moving from left to right, but this thing seems to be descending down into the woods in the middle of nowhere. What's it doing out there? Brent, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, it's a good video. Thanks, Rich, for having this sent to us. This is unique. We're looking at something over the treetops. It's quite far away, so we're not getting the best look at what this is. You know, it could be a balloon, but the spherical object, it has this roundness that doesn't look like your natural balloon with a tether on it. This looks somewhat different. This is unique. Again, here's a still, zoomed at 400%. Again, we're not getting a whole lot of quality out of this, but we do see an object descending down to the ground. I could rule this as a possibly one of ours, a balloon, maybe a drone, something, maybe it's one of ours, in my opinion.
Sure, but you never know. Could it be a drone scout? Something small, something obscure that maybe doesn't get the notice from the public on the ground, that rarely even keeps their eyes on the skies, trying to be inconspicuous, possibly, things like this. And we want to look at all the evidence, and we've got even more UFO videos coming up in just a second, but don't forget our email is in the description, so we're always open to looking at all the evidence and the footage and the testimony and the experiencers, everything involved in this phenomenon. And that being said, this one's a crazy one. Jaime Maussan out of Mexico says, hey guys, you got to look at this, share it with your Third Phase of Moon friends, and that's what we're about to do. This is an incredible sighting in broad daylight, and there's some enhancements done. What's going on over Denver, Colorado? Watch. Let's hit this with some stabilization and lock it down so we could get a clear look at this pod, as I call it. It seems to be carrying some kind of almost humanoid within it. You can see a glint, a glare, but at points in this film or this video as we're looking at it, as we stabilize it in slow motion, people are stating that they see some kind of being sitting within the pod like a cockpit, but we don't see any kind of means of propulsion behind whatever this craft is. But as we zoom up, you can see some kind of, as people are saying, an alien being as we enhance it. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is interesting. Look at this. This isn't what we're trying to put out as legitimate, but again, this is compelling to say the least. Has anybody seen any kind of craft like this pod? And again, as the enhancements were done on Jaime Maussan's team, these images came up of the being within the pod itself. And again, more evidence through the history of the exact same kind of vehicle. Brent, what's your thoughts here?
Yeah, this one's highly unique. We're looking at a casing, a pod, and when we do have close-ups, like again, this is captured in 2006, and now right here's another example of like-kind craft with Jose Hernandez. This is an animation of what people are seeing. This is not the real deal. This is an example of what people are seeing, and there it is, the ET and the craft. And then we're going to go to the original here pretty soon. Here's a comparative of something that was captured over a city. This is very compelling. These kind of pods, are these exports of extraterrestrials maybe visiting planet Earth? Here it is, a close-up, and now back to the original. And look at this. It almost looks like a glass dome encased in this pod-like shape. Is there an extraterrestrial inside this is a big question.
All I know, Brandon, is I want one of these things. It seems safe. I don't see any propeller blades or any kind of propulsion that could malfunction. This seems like something we could actually fly around in. And if this is what the future might look like in regards to ways of travel and traversing to one place to another. This seems pretty comfortable because as we're looking at it, it seems like it's a one man or a one being kind of system. You can't really fit a whole family in there. It's not an SUV, but as we're looking at it once again, and with this video stabilization, which is pretty impressive because the camera was pretty shaky, but the object was able to be locked down under the stabilization so we could see very clearly what's going on here. This is some kind of craft that I've not seen before. Guys, can you help me out? Have you seen anything like this? If it is some kind of drone or a new kind of, balloon out there. Right now I haven't seen it. Like you said, Brent, you could see like a glass shield, and as we pause this, and like I said, people are speculating, and again, speculation, but it's pretty undeniable that it looks to be some kind of alien gray with the large head and the large eyes and the spindly arms. It's interesting, but this is actually coming in from imagery from the video. This is kind of cool.
Yeah, could this be a little bit of pareidolia, just looking into it a little too deep? But then again, this is kind of convincing, highly compelling video. Again, we're just watching an episode on 60 Minutes showing drone technology and the way of the future of flight. You could clearly see that everything's pulled up by prop propellers. We're not seeing anything propped up here. This does not look like a drone. And again, this 2006 video, with comparison of what was just captured recently, and the animation right here of what people are seeing on the ground really showcases what's happening in the skies.
Yeah, I'm liking this animation done by Jose Hernandez, representing of what the eyewitnesses are stating they see with their naked eye. And this is pretty good stuff, and the collaboration between Jaime Maussan and their group and what's going on over here is pretty amazing, and I'm loving the evidence coming out of the region. And that being said, people have requested Above Top Secret to be available for rental, and that's what happened today. It's not for purchase anymore. You could actually rent it. We wanted to drop the price down so everybody could enjoy it, and we're going to be supplying the link below. Above Top Secret right now is crushing it. Let me tell you, Amazon Prime is putting it on their front page. We've seen numbers that have overridden any expectations of the success of Above Top Secret. So I urge you right now, is the time to watch it. It's available for rent. Above Top Secret, Amazon Prime, or all streaming services. The Genius link is below. Thanks for joining us. We've got more UFO sightings coming in as we speak, so we're going to work on that episode, and we'll get to it and share it with you ASAP. Along with my brother Brent, Blake Cousins, keep your eyes on the skies, everybody. We'll see you next time.
If the crash retrievals are true, then all bets are off.
It's very hard for people to get their minds around where the real power is. And it's not at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. The reality is something much more stark.
They've been working on this for 60, 70, perhaps 80 years.
The reason why the government is talking about these UFOs now, they're getting ready for the next level of war.
Are these objects a national security concern?
They're proffering a narrative of a national security threat that doesn't exist.
I call them alien reproduction vehicles. They're made by private corporations somewhere on this planet.
Technology from Roswell from 1947 has largely been held back from us.
Portal technology, teleportation, whatever you can imagine, it's already been done.
The biggest secrets are not the zero-point energy and electrogravitics. It's the science of consciousness. All their communication systems are moving through the consciousness field and are thought actuated. The people at the CIA call it WSFM, weird science and frickin' magic. The transdimensional interstellar technology will benefit humanity.
There has been tremendous disinformation.
The media is keeping secrets with the government.
These are lethal, vicious people. And I'm focused on exposing the extraordinary technologies that they want to keep secret. No aspect of life on Earth will be unaffected by it.